Our country faces massive challenges, but with positive solutions like these, we will overcome them and create an America that is more secure, stronger, and full of opportunity. I'm proud to work with my colleagues here in the House of Representatives to bring this plan forward. Please join us as we work to make our country a better place to live and work for all Americans. Remember, a balanced budget for a stronger America.
Back now on America's Forum, that is House Budget Committee Chairman Tom Price, and you heard him say he's proud of the work his committee is doing on presenting a new budget. The doctor, he is a licensed physician, and in addition to being chairman of the committee, he will outline budget plans, but as he does that, South Carolina Senator Lindsey Graham is speaking out. You see the story from our parent website, Newsmax.com, saying there's a war within the GOP over the defense budget, and there are concerns that infighting over the budget could derail the overall Republican agenda. Joining us now, the president of Americans for Prosperity, Tim Phillips. Ford O'Connell, Republican strategist, likewise remains with us. Tim, thanks for your time, and you told National Journal that the GOP budget has the potential to blow up the majority. What do you mean?
Well, they have been given a second chance, JD, to show they can rein in the size of government, specifically government spending. They failed in the early 2000s when the Bush administration and the then majorities in the House and Senate, frankly, went off the rail. And they've been given a second chance. And on Obamacare, repealing it, on energy, pushing back against the global warming nutty agenda, they're united, and they're doing, I believe, what the American people want and what the conservative activists and the base want. But on the spending, that's the true test. And I thought the budget that Budget Chairman Tom Price put forward yesterday was a promising start. It block grants Medicaid, reins it in, reforms, and actually saves Medicare, and it holds the caps on discretionary spending. But if the Republicans fail to put forward a regular order budget through the appropriations process this year that actually reins in the size of government, I think it could harm and cost them a majority over time.
Tim, what do you like least about the Price budget? Obviously, the folks up in the Senate are not too happy with the House's first pass. And do you actually think that we're going to be able to sort of bridge this gap between the Senate and House and put forth that budget?
Republicans have to. If they don't, if they fail on the budget, if they come up with kind of a wimpy, kind of same old, expanding government budget, I really believe that the American people will say, well, they're not doing what they promised they were going to do. And I think the key thing they have to reconcile is defense spending. And there's a way to stay within the sequester caps, still allow defense spending to go up if they will be willing to step up and cut spending in some other areas on the discretionary front. Here's the good news for them. They passed the Ryan budget in 11 and 12, and they were attacked by the left vehemently. It's happening right now. They were calling, they're going to allow old folks to pass away. They're going to harm school lunches for kids. All these same old liberal diatribes. And they sustained and even expanded their majorities despite those political attacks. So they've shown that the American people will stand with them when they do the right thing on spending. The question now is, can they get 51 Republican votes in the Senate to put a House budget on the president's desk? And it's a big question for them.
Well, let me ask Ford his opinion, Tim. Ford, do you think the House Republicans will rally around and vote this budget out?
Well, they want to find something like this. That's a great question, and I think they want to do what Tim is saying, show that they're fiscally conservative and strong. What they are concerned about is the fact that the Democrats are going to demonize them and say that they're throwing grandma off the cliff. And this is a big problem for them, because what the Republicans have yet to get out is why the national debt is so harmful to America going forward, and why we're robbing Peter to pay Paul for the next generation when we're all going to go bankrupt. The problem with the Republicans is they haven't put down Act 1, Scene 1 in this communication strategy, and while we argue about these numbers in the weeds, most Americans don't know much about it.
But to that point, though, they have seen these attacks from the left for years now. And in the face of those attacks, they actually expanded their Republican majority in the House and gained a outright majority in the Senate. So the American people are with them. They don't trust government to do the right thing, to spend money wisely. They're ready for a new approach. And and I really do hope that the House rank and file will pass in a round form this price budget, because I do think it reforms Medicare. I know it reins in Medicaid, cuts spending, and block grants it to the states to give more innovation opportunities there while still helping people, and it holds the line on discretionary spending. I was actually encouraged very much by the price budget. This kind of budget has been supported by the American people by giving Republicans majorities when they've stood on this. I hope that the rank and file in the House and Senate will support this.
Well, it's interesting you mentioned that, Tim, because we had Adam Brandon, Executive Vice President for Freedom Works, on this program earlier this week. He told us what a member of Congress told him. Let's take a listen.
We need to do anything about something real. And that just has stuck with me. And you need to do anything about something real. Meaning, we don't need to just kick the can down the road on this bill and just reauthorize this or that. They actually want to see a legitimate piece of legislation passed so they could go back to their constituents and say, hey, look, we took on entitlements. Hey, look, we took on spending. Hey, look, we took on, you name the problem. We killed the Import-Export Bank. They're looking for some kind of real piece of legislation to prove, hey, we deserve this majority. We can leave.
So, Tim, mindful of that, do you believe the budget can be that something that they can get done?
I absolutely think it can be. Think about this, JD. You were there. You saw how intractable and how top down the Medicaid project or the Medicaid program has become. It's gotten even larger because of this monstrosity called Obamacare. This budget is, I think, pretty darn aggressive and innovative in block granting Medicaid spending, allowing
Tim,
states to experiment.
my question to you is very simple. Basically, 60% of our spending goes to Medicare, Medicaid, Social Security, and entitlements. And with 10,000 people turning 65 every day, this is going to mushroom out of control. My question is to you very simply. The only way that we're going to do something substantive here is to actually modernize Medicare and Medicaid. Do you think that the Republicans can actually do that and not be worried about a 2016 election on the horizon?
And you got 30 seconds to answer, Tim.
I absolutely think they do, and here's why I think they can do it. This Medicare reform is not perfect. I don't like every provision in it, but it's real and it's substantive, and I think it will save and make solvent that program. And they passed this budget in 12 in a very similar Medicare. They withstood the attacks, even with Paul Ryan on the ticket with Mitt Romney. They still sustained the support levels with 65 and older Americans. They can do this, and the American people will support them.
And on that promising note, we say thank you to the president of Americans for Prosperity, our friend Tim Phillips, joining us by telephone. And we're back with our political panel after this update.